Good morning. Welcome to your second week in EDFN 365. First week went fairly smoothly for first week of school. I'll point out a couple of things just to remind everybody. The discussion post responses, I've put a document here that kind of responds to everybody as a whole, pointed out a few things that we needed to touch in class. So make sure that you read this. It's easier to read this than probably going back through and reading individual comments on your discussion posts. Discussion posts were okay the first week. Please make sure that you are watching the videos, that you are reading the materials, and that you are responding and using those things as well as any others you want to in your discussion posts. The more research you can add to those, the better off you will be. The second thing I want to point out to everybody is use your calendar. It will show those due dates. For example, August 30th, your original post is due, and that'll be to your discussion post that's due this week. The replies to that and the digital citizenship quiz isn't due until the 1st. Your paper that you have to write isn't due until September 8th, and the rubric is on the content page as well. So let's go back and visit this page. This is where you're going to find everything that you need to for the class or for the assignments as they exist. This week is relevant and current digital citizenship. So what I want you to start thinking about before you actually get into the use of quite a few of the tools that are used in the classrooms, I want you to really get a grasp of what kind of classroom and how free your classroom is. And one of the things I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you take a digital footprint quiz. That's right here. This is how you score that after you're finished. You're going to post that on the discussion board. And then you've got a social media paper. Social media is not going to go away. It's part of your students' lives. It is part of the materials that are going in there. And it's important that you have a really good grasp of how you want to approach those things in your classroom. This looks like an awful lot of information to read and to watch this week, and it might be. Don't put stuff off. But again, a lot of you just contacted me, said, "Holy buckets, forgot about this, didn't know this was going on." Set aside a time for your online courses that you want to do every week. You'll usually have a discussion post over the readings and the videos that are due on Wednesday, but then you have until Friday to get the rest done. So here's what you need to do. And again, remember I told you sometimes it'll take just a millisecond or two to get this going. There's an introduction just to get you thinking about what's going on in the course this week. Here's what you need to read, and here's what you need to watch. And again, those are listed in the content page. And you've got 4 assignments this week. Do the digital footprint quiz, score yourself, put your score on the discussion board. You're welcome to add anything to that you want to. You don't need to respond to anybody on this particular discussion board, but if you feel the need to, if you see somebody who ended up with like a 2, you may want to say, "Wow, what happened?" or who knows. Feel free to use that discussion board as that conversation piece. So how does technology change thinking? How does technology change the way your students think? How does it change the way society thinks? All of those things need to be addressed in this discussion. Again, original post is due Wednesday. Replies are due by Friday, and that's 11:59. Then you have a social media paper. It's a reflective paper. I'm not looking for any defined word count. I'm not looking for any defined page count. I want you to use the research from your readings, your life experiences. The more examples and relationships you can give in answering the question and questions that are posted in here, the better off you will be. And then you have one other thing that you need to do. You're going to put that discussion paper, that digital citizenship paper, in Dropbox, as well as post a link to it in the discussion board. And then I want you to read at least 2 of your classmates' papers, write a response to it. And again, these should be really meaty responses, not just a, "Hey, I really liked your paper," not just really good ideas. I want you to take information from those and go from there with that, okay? So this, one of the things that will confuse a lot of people, I'm going to scroll up here to the top again, all right? You don't have this assignment due until next Friday. Monday, you will get new things to do. You'll get a new discussion board to do. You'll get new stuff that's going on, all of those kinds of things. So don't put time off. But again, communicate with me. Let me know what's going on. I had one student communicate with me today saying, I did all my Twitter. How come I got a 0? Yeah, that was completely my screw up. But if she wouldn't have let me know, I would have just gone on with existence. So don't be afraid to do that. I also had somebody apologize for emailing me really late at night, but it wasn't late at night. It was only 9:30. It was just an early night for me that day. Again, don't hesitate. You'll get a response right away in the morning if I'm in bed or sleeping, but most of the time if I'm awake, you'll get a response right away. Again, use the information I've given you. I'm in my office most mornings, so don't be afraid. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what works. Let me know what doesn't work, and we will go from there. The only other thing I really need to tell you is when I grade things, there's usually a rubric and or feedback that goes along with that. And you can usually find that in the grades or in the Dropbox assignment. So look for those, and if you cannot see those, please let me know. But usually the information is there. And most of you have already found out that if you do get a grade you don't like, the feedback is going to be along the lines of just redo it, send me an email that you've redone it, and I will reassess it. So everybody have a great week. I'm going to get back to work here, and we will talk to you later. Bye.